Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name's Andy R and this is the Brotherhood of Men, a channel solely dedicated at getting you men out there the best result in your lives, because that's who I'm here for, is the men in our society, because we men are being vilified, we're being put down, we're being harassed and generally made to feel the bad guys for doing nothing other than being born male. So what is today's subject? Well, if you looked at the thumbnail, you already know. It's called the tripod of relationships. So what is the tripod of relationships? Well, this just here is a milking stool. That's right, a milking stool. So why am I showing you pictures of milking stools? Well, it's for a metaphor to explain this theory to you. And it's a pretty straightforward theory, but it's a damn good metaphor. So tripods, or milking stools if you like, well, milking stools have been used for thousands of years in the country, all over the world. They are a stable platform to sit on whilst milking cows, goats, sheep, whatever animal it is. But they are used because the ground is usually uneven. It's only in recent centuries that we have had lovely flat floors to put four-legged tables on and chairs. Before that there were flagstone if the person was rich, or there were dirt floors. So a tripod would sit and it would be firm. It would be a firm platform to sit on. This is why they're still made today. Now the tripod is used for cameras. Cameramen all over the world use tripods because, again, they can set them up on uneven ground and they will be stable. Those 3 points will always find level. So if you take your middle finger, you take your index finger and your thumb like this and lay it down on a level or unlevel surface, you will notice that all 3 points make contact. You don't get that with 4 points of a solid structure like a chair or a table, but you do with a tripod. This is why tripods are used by surveyors out in the country setting up for new roads or whose land belongs to who. They know they're going to be out in the wilds and they need a steady platform. They're also used for telescopes, so that they can be set up and stable whilst you're trying to observe the night sky. The reason being is you don't want them waving around every time you move them. You can set them up, just bend down, use the eyepiece and see what you need to see without that fractional movement, because it's on a tripod. So now the tripod is a beautiful metaphor. That's why I'm showing you this picture of a milking stool, because we can think of the whole milking stool as a relationship. Now, it can be any relationship. It could be a sexual relationship, somebody you're involved with or hoping to get involved with. It can be a familial relationship, you and your family. It could be a work relationship, you and the people that you work with, your relationship with your boss, his boss, or if you are the boss, your relationship with your employees. It could be also a friendship relationship, those relationships you have with your fellow man, your friends that you've grown up with or have made over time. All of these relationships work on those 3 principles that creates the whole relationship. But like a milking stool and a tripod, it only works if all 3 legs work together. Remove one of the legs, it falls over. It's no longer a tripod. It's no longer a safe platform. It collapses. So what are those 3 legs of the tripod? Well, in a relationship, they are trust, honesty, and of course, the last and most important one, in my opinion, is respect. So that's trust, honesty, and of course respect. You see, the 3 legs, those 3 elements are what make up the whole of the relationship, all relationships. So there's an old saying that goes like this: you don't get to pick your family and you don't get to pick your work colleagues, but you do get to pick your friends and your lovers. I think it's a great saying because it's so true. You were born into the family you're born into, whether you've got a mother and father, whether you're born into a single parent household, whether you were born in it and left and you're in the care system, or whether you were adopted, whether you ended up living with your grandparents instead of your parents for whatever reason, and so a million and one different reasons and a million and one different relationships with your family, your brothers and sisters, cousins, aunts, everything else that goes on. There are as many different stories about family relationships as there are people, because everybody's got their own unique. Even you and your brother or sister have a different outlook of how you experience that relationship with your parents, grandparents, etc. And this is the point, is how you're treated in that relationship. Hopefully there is trust, honesty and respect. Now, if you're in a sexual relationship, a loving relationship, let's put it that way, if you're in that relationship, hopefully you give trust, you give honesty, and you give respect. And in return, you receive trust, honesty, and respect. Because that relationship can only be classed as a solid, lasting relationship if it's got those three things. The same with your friends. You choose your friends because you get along with them. You have a lot in common. You have a laugh together. You're able to talk to each other. So there again, there must be trust, honesty, and respect mutually between you and your friends. Anytime you're not receiving any one of those elements for that relationship will not last long term. It will collapse, just like the tripod. You can't remove one of the legs without it falling apart. So let's say we're talking about a sexual relationship. You're with a woman. She is with you. You've decided to commit to each other. It's not just dating. You are in a relationship. Now, in that relationship, you hopefully are getting honesty. In other words, you ask questions and you get an honest answer. You are also trusting and are trusted, and also you respect and are respected. Because if any three of those elements are missing, you don't have a relationship. You just have somebody you hook up with. For instance, if you find out that she has been less than honest with you, something has gone on and she's lied to you about it, do you really trust her and respect her for lying to you? Because she didn't tell you she was lying, you found out on your own. You see how this works? Without one, the other two crumble. Because if she's not honest with you, then how can you trust her? And if you can't trust her, how can you respect her? And if you don't respect her, how can you be honest with her? And how do you see? It's a constant circle going round and around. Those three legs need to be there to support the platform that is the relationship on necessarily rocky ground. Again, with trust, she does something to make you mistrust her. Now you don't trust her. That relationship's collapsed, because how can you be honest with somebody you don't trust? You can't give them some secret to somebody you don't trust, because it will be spread all over. You can't open your heart up. You can't be honest with them either, because you don't trust them. You see the three legs. One's gone, all's gone. And then, of course, you've got respect. If somebody doesn't respect you, how can you trust them? How can you be honest with them? They don't respect you. And here's a little gem of information that you might not know. Nobody, as far as I know, has ever cheated on somebody that they respect. Think about it in the business world. If you've got a working relationship with a colleague and you trust, respect, and you also are honest with them, and then find out that they're doing dodgy deals under the table, you lose respect for them. Therefore, you're no longer honest with them, and you certainly don't trust them. You see, this analogy works in all situations, in all relationships. With your family, you find out that something's happened behind the scenes, and you find out that your mother or your father or your grandparents or something did something so horrendous that you no longer talk to them very much. You're no longer honest with them, you don't respect them, and you don't trust them. You see, you didn't get to choose that family. You get to choose your friends and your lovers, and from them you can only expect those three things if you want a relationship to last. Think of your own life. In fact, leave me a comment down below. Tell me, has there been any time in your private life with friends and that you've lost respect or trust for them, and you no longer really see them? You just, they're acquaintances that you once know, you drifted apart from because you couldn't trust them, or you didn't respect them, or they just weren't honest. The same with girlfriends or wife or whatever it might have been. Which was it that you lost and the whole relationship collapsed? Because it will be one of them, and if you lose one, you find that the others, each one of them, the trust, respect and honesty, they have to work together. They have to work together to create a stable platform that you call your relationship. If any of them break down, any one of those, and I'm not saying you can't win things back. Probably the hardest one to win back is trust. You can still win back somebody's honesty, or they can win back your honesty by being honest with you. You can get somebody who they'll win back your respect for them, probably because they're being honest with you. But trust, that's a tricky one to get. Let's give me, for instance, a woman you're with, you found out she cheated on you. Well, for a start, you know she's got no respect for you, because you don't cheat on people you respect. And that is a really important one. In fact, all three are there. That's why it's a tripod, because they're equally as important as each other. But if you find that she cheated on you, why would you ever have her back? All you're saying is, hey, it's okay to cheat on me. I'm just a doormat. Carry on. Cheat on me again. Because that's the message that you say when you allow somebody back into your life who has lost your trust. You've said to them, it's okay, I don't trust you, but whatever you do is okay with me because, hey, I don't expect trust from you. Same with respect. Somebody loses your respect or you lose their respect. That relationship can no longer carry on because you don't respect them. But if you bring them back, if you don't respect them, and you say, hey, it's okay, I still want to be with you, although I don't respect you, and you don't respect me. You see, it's a two-way street. It has to be. You both have to have these three elements for it to work. And so many times it turns out that men are very trusting, quite honest, and give respect, but don't receive it. Think they receive it, but aren't. And it takes them too long to figure that out for themselves. So you need to go in eyes wide open if you want the best outcome for your life in every relationship that you have. Are you getting trust? Are you getting respect? And are you getting honesty? In the business world, like I said, you don't get to pick your work colleagues. But do you really want to stay in a job where, say, the boss or the company itself, you don't respect it, you don't trust it, and you get no honesty from it? Move, get out, find another job. While you've got a job, it's easy to find another job. Don't leave and then look for another job. You're just making life more difficult for yourself. Same in a sexual relationship. You're with a woman, you find that she's being disrespectful to you. That eye roll, that's disrespect. That, oh yeah, whatever, that's disrespect. All of those minutiae, those little tells are giveaways that she doesn't respect you. And if she doesn't respect you, how can you trust her? How can you be honest with you? Are you getting honesty and trust from her? You see, reflection happens here as well. In a relationship, you tend to find that you reflect what you are yourself. If you're a decent guy, if you're an upstanding kind of man, you kind of expect everybody else to be a decent person and upstanding. And therefore, when they're not, it knocks your faith back. But it doesn't stop your fundamental nature of being a decent guy. So you go into every relationship expecting back what you have, because that old trope of treat others as you expect to be treated yourself is very true. If you want to be treated with respect, trust and honesty, you need to give it. And when you do and don't get it back, they're the people that you don't allow into your life long term. They may be acquaintances, people that you see, I don't know, just out and about, that you can exchange a few words with, but you'll never give a secret to. You'll never trust them with anything you value, and you certainly won't be honest with them when they say, "Why don't we hang out anymore?" And you don't say to them, "Because you're a scumbag." You don't say that, you just go, "Oh, I'm busy." You see, they don't deserve your honesty, their trust, or your respect, because you don't get that from them, because they're not those things. And that's true in every walk of life, even your family. If you've got a toxic family who doesn't respect, trust, and is honest with you, then cut ties with them. Move away, walk away. You can make up any excuse you want, because they no longer deserve your trust, honesty, and respect. You see how it works? That tripod can only work if all three legs that are of equal value are hitting the rocky ground to create a stable platform of the relationship. And if you're not getting them, then why should you give them? And if you're not getting them, that's not a relationship. It's something else. I don't know what it is. Maybe you can leave in a comment down below what it is if you're not getting those three things. But it's certainly not a stable relationship, because that's what a tripod is. It's stable. Like I say, try it out yourself. Take your three fingers, all of them are of different length, stick it down on a flat surface, and as soon as you get those 3 points to latch, you'll know, hey, this works. And that's why tripods have been used for thousands of years by pretty much every civilization on Earth, for that simple reason. But tripods, you can use them anywhere. Milking stools used for thousands of years, tens of thousands of years. And this is why I showed you the picture of a milking stool. And haven't I just gone all out on the graphics today? I mean, wow, compared with me just standing here in the Brotherhood of Men logo over my shoulder, I've actually whoa, broke the budget on that one, guys. Anyway, I'm going for a cup of tea because I think I've earned one. You guys have been awesome as always, and I hope the best for you in your outcomes in your life. I'm Andy R. This is the Brotherhood of Men, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.